Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Weekly Games Chat. I apparently choked on my own spit. I am your host, Chris.
Is that what we're calling it?
As always, joined by my co-host, Sean.
Hey, what's up, people?
And John.
Hi, everybody.
What was this? What was that? Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
We're going to the Cotton Picking Fair next weekend.
For those of you who think that's not
a real thing.
That's a real thing in the state of Georgia.
That is a real thing.
They have it on the something weekend in May and
I
October?
think it's usually like Mother's Day weekend, right?
So that'd be the third weekend?
No, I think like this weekend, I think it is.
No. In May and October, their whole thing is the third weekend in May and third.
Okay, yeah, maybe
like
it is. I don't know. I've never been.
Will you tighten up and understand what I'm trying to say? Even though I may not be articulating it the way you need to hear it.
I will come across this table.
This is a tiny table.
I know. But these are tiny hands.
Tiny dancer in my hands.
Did everyone have a good week?
John is smelling his lemon breath. I tell you, John had a great past, 15 minutes it took you to eat a bag of Bud's Finest lemon cookies?
Bud's
Is it
best cookies, bite-sized
Bud's.
lemon cream.
2 weeks in a row. Was
Man,
that
fat
this is-
bastard.
and we talked about it, I think, last week when I said, John, these lemon cookies will change your life.
Jeez.
I walked by the store today to get the pre-show drinks, and I look at them and I start giggling.
Thank you,
The lady's
buddy.
like, "What? Were you happy today, honey?" I said, "I'm just thinking about my friend right now, ma'am."
That just doesn't sound
Speaking
right.
of really nice, tasty food,
Oh my God,
you and I,
we had a great lunch today.
we had a
Chris.
great lunch.
Where'd you go?
So it started out. First of all, I had to be reminded that it was 12 o'clock and we needed to go eat because I reached out to John to see if he wanted to eat, and
A freaking 40 minutes prior.
I took a massive juice and a shower. But so we were going to go to Crystal, right? And so we get to Crystal, and I know you don't like it, but
I can deal with
for
it.
you
but
northern
I don't
folks,
eat
remember
anymore.
Crystal is the equivalent of White Castle. And we're standing in line. We are next in line, and something happens where I see this person get like handed a drink, and I was like, "Huh." I think you picked up on that, and you was like, he kind of nodded over to the thing. He said, "The drink machine's out," and I went, "What?" That was like an instant deal breaker for me. I don't know why.
Because, you got to go to the counter and go get some more
was-
Diet Coke.
I was like,
You really are a prima freaking donna.
Sidetrack really
They
fast.
were really busy today.
They were busy.
Oh, God.
But sidetrack is I stopped at McDonald's this morning and I went inside because I had to use the bathroom and I was going to get 2 drinks. And I like making my own drink at McDonald's because I can control the ice and things of this nature. It's weird.
Because when they give you a drink in the drive-thru, it's like
Terrible.
this much ice, which you can't see, ladies and gentlemen, but like an inch thick of ice.
Or the other way where they fill it all the way to the
Yeah.
brim, and then when you go to put the straw in, it's like everywhere.
What was
So
that
I-
again?
So I go in and after they hand me the drink, I see them make it and I was like, and then I realized they didn't have a drink anywhere in there. You would have to go to the counter at this McDonald's. So
God, lame.
by the time we end up at Crystal's at lunch, I'm like, I've had enough of this. So I look at John and I go, "Do you want to go to Burger King?" He kind of does the thing where he giggles, and I was like, "No." He's like, "Do you want to go to Burger King?" And I say, "Yeah." And it turns into John saying, "Well, where's it at?" And it's literally next door.
Yeah.
You go out of a parking lot and you're there. So we're like,
You're talking about the downtown one, right?
I'm talking about downtown. Yeah. So we're just like, we're next and we're out. So we get into Burger King, and as we're standing in line, we both see the spicy chicken sandwich, and we're like, that'd be really good right now. But then John, what did I say? What's the other one you've had? The sourdough thing from Burger King?
Yeah, the sourdough.
He said, I got to give it a break. And then I look over and I see the number 10, which is a bacon cheese chicken sandwich, basically like a bacon club, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how good would that be with spicy chicken? John's like, right? So
Probably
John
not
orders
good.
his first, and I order at the same time. We both end up getting that meal with spicy chicken. And we ate every bite. I think I took a tomato off because I wasn't feeling the tomato, but there was nothing left. And
Oh,
it was
amazing.
It was so good.
No, we order it. We both agreed that we're going to order it like, no, you order the number 10 and then say, can I get spicy?
That would be easier. It'd be the easier way to say it.
That's the
So-
way to do it.
So
Turns out.
So I go up and order it, and the poor woman does not know how to put that into the system. Like, her finger went like this, pointed down at the cash register, stared at the cash register, and then looked up at me with her mouth agape.
At about the
Said,
time,
I tell you what, let's make this easy on you. Just ring me up the spicy chicken meal, and then add bacon and cheese. Boop, 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 boop. There you go, sir.
as that's going down, I had already started the same conversation with mine. Mine was a newer. She was still kind of learning, and she looked over, and the girl was like, "Just ring it up like I'm doing this." So, and it was. I can't. You know, when you don't. I haven't been at Burger King in a while, and I haven't definitely gotten a chicken sandwich from a place, but you really learn that when you go to a place and you get the same thing over and over, you're going to notice when it's not good or not on point. This thing was probably the best chicken sandwich I put in my mouth in a long time.
I feel like I can find you a better one.
You probably could, but I'm telling you today,
that was all you needed.
they were.
Oh, it was on point. It's
was-
like they had to make it fresh because it was special order.
Yeah, the lettuce was super crunchy.
The words fresh and Burger King do not get
I
together.
know.
Shut your
right?
mouth.
Listen though, the chicken was cooked to perfection. It had some spice to it, of course, like it was advertised. The cheese melted perfectly. The lettuce was
man.
crisp.
And the bacon. He's been on a bacon kick.
Yeah, the bacon.
I remember that.
Chris. Bacon sets everything off.
Where have you been?
It's like he
Just
needs
saying.
he needs a bacon T-shirt.
I do need a bacon.
But in
t-shirt.
other news, I had a lousy weekend, and I appreciate you asking. You did ask
I did.
because I had to watch my dog get assaulted all weekend by another dog.
My dog got lucky this weekend, so
Yeah.
that happened. Wait, what?
Why do I not know what's going on right now?
John may have watched Penny for me Saturday because I was off
And Penny-
drinking beer.
Drinking beer at the beer fast.
Penny has a crush on my dog Burgess.
Crush is a loose term.
Kind of like pennies. Afterwards.
Penny doesn't know boundaries. And
Well, yeah, because you attended the beer fest, so that makes sense that John would have kept Penny.
yes. And when I dropped her off, I said, like, I would feel bad for you, but I've done this. So, for a longer amount of time, too,
Yeah.
because I've watched his
Speaking
dogs
of
when it's
which,
gone after
we're
him.
going on vacation in July.
Let's go ahead and put that out there now. We got it on
Is
tape.
that when you're moving too? Because my back, guys, I just Penny's allergic to things in July. So
My friends or my wife's.
Your wife.
Yeah,
I did it.
you
I
did.
actually
You
did it.
You
Her,
did.
her
Good
bestie and
job.
her husband.
Your wife.
Shout out to Matt. They decided to make this past Saturday Sean's Saturday because on my actual birthday, people were busy and things were just happening, right? So they were like, anything you want to do today? I was like, all right. We had a good little like lunch, and then I finally saw Civil War.
yeah, Civil War.
Civil
What was
War.
that? All right, Tinley.
I saw the Avengers, Infinity War, and
There you go. Yeah, you didn't like it,
well, the thing is, I did like it.
but you just didn't like what happened.
I did not like what happened. We obviously don't want to spoil it.
No.
If you want to see spoiler talk, it's all on the internet. You can go check out.
There was that part with Darth Maul.
Yeah, we don't want to cut Darth Maul in half for you because I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see. I stayed away from it for two reasons. One was because I thought I might see it, and two, I don't really tend to watch or talk about Marvel stuff. I don't like Google Marvel stuff. I'm just not that guy.
Yeah, you're
Kinda
not
gl-
uber into it.
I'm glad I didn't. But I hate Thanos,
I've seen that movie 3 times.
even though he is I think he's a great villain.
I do too.
Oh yeah, he's the best part of that movie.
And how good were the effects though? Like that movie looked amazing.
It's almost
was-
like they spent like $500 million
Right?
on it.
It was the special effects were amazing until you saw Bruce Banner with his head sticking out of something. that looks so bad.
Yeah,
That's probably a very hard thing to do.
yeah.
Might be kind of like Superman's mustache.
That's a very hard thing to do.
Henry was his name.
Cavill.
Cavill.
Yeah,
Cavill.
People think he looks hot, John. He's a chiseled man.
Oh, he's gorgeous.
that's why they wouldn't let him shave that mustache.
He seems to be a perfectly shaped man.
If he leaned in to kiss me,
You wouldn't stop him.
I would stop him in a couple of seconds when I came to my senses. It'd take me a while.
He was in the Tudors.
I'd go, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
he
like
was.
it's really weird because I'm like, that's Superman. And
That was kind
in
of-
no way did I ever, when I watched that show,
Yeah, I never
go,
saw.
I'm like, you're going to be Superman one day.
No, when they announced him as Superman, I went, what?
Really?
Now, when they announced Brandon Routh, I'd never heard of the guy, but I went, that guy looks like Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, it looks like Clark Kent.
Speaking
sure.
of people that found out about people,
Yeah.
names and whatnot, Bobby Joe found she had not seen Doctor Strange, but she ended up liking Doctor Strange in the movie. And when I said, yeah, his name's Benedict Cumberbatch, she was like,
She about lost it.
she's like, what? What you mean his name's Benedict Cumberbatch? Is that his real name? What was his mama
She's
thinking?
never heard of Benedict Cumberbatch.
Never. And I was like, he's kind of famous.
He does an amazing Alan Rickman impression.
Yes,
of,
he does.
So then that turned into her watching, believe it or not, Doctor Strange. She went back and watched Civil War, and she's watching something else on Netflix. She's like all in on what's happening with the story.
Maybe Thor. No, I don't think
Ragnarok's-
Thor's- Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yeah.
That's on there.
So she's like, all like, where did this come from?
Hey, man. Think about this. Sylvester Stallone
Right?
is in the Marvel Universe.
That is true.
Right?
He exists in the Marvel Universe, and he's doing Rambo 5.
That's like, hey,
Dear
It's
Lord.
a great time to be an
good
American.
segue. They also mentioned that Bill and Ted's getting a new movie.
Yes, that came out today.
What?
Crazy. Well, that's been old news. They've been working on it.
No, they actually, though, they confirmed today.
Yeah.
They
It's-
finally said, like, it's done.
It's
They've
going
got-
down for real.
It's the director who did Galaxy Quest. And then it's the original 2 writers and them.
You know, I never saw Galaxy Quest.
Wow.
Let's go ahead and blow his mind again.
Yeah.
Neither did I.
Wow, man. That's like Tim Allen outside of Toy Story. That's probably, I'd say, the best thing he ever did. Was probably yeah, I will say that. Santa freaking Claus and Home Improvement. Screw those shows. Or The Last Man Standing. No.
That's pretty good.
No, that good. What'd you do this weekend, Chris?
What I do?
Besides,
I drank
fest.
beer.
how many beers?
I hung out with Eric Tate Saturday
You,
night.
you hung out with people who like to drink beer.
Yes,
many
and
beers,
James.
How many beers did you have?
Be honest, we're not
That's-
judging you.
Okay, like you have to remember. Are you saying like full 12-ounce beers or just like
How many
samples?
beers did you
Dude,
have all
how many
day
beers?
long? It's not.
Yeah, don't overanalyze
Well,
this,
when you're-
analyst.
Okay, so at the beer fest itself, I probably tried in variety sense probably, I don't know, probably like 20 beers. But it's not full pours. They're like
That's not what I asked.
yeah,
you.
they're like 6 ounces.
How many beers? Did you
they're
have?
like they're tiny. I've been at a thing where you get the tasters or
Now
whatever.
they start tiny.
your
then
boy-
you get later on, and they're trying to get rid of all their stuff.
It comes in pints.
Yeah, and then all of
I'm
a sudden
getting on-
the cup all of a sudden starts getting fuller.
Lord of the Rings. It comes in pints.
Why do you sound so low?
Did the mic? Yeah, the mic just cut out. You can't even hear me.
Your mic's not working. You're coming through our mics.
How am I coming through now? You still can't hear me. I'm
No.
completely out.
Hold, please.
I'm being silent.
Well, let's take this moment to
Am I still registered?
pivot.
I'm not even. I'm not registering.
No, he's not. We're gonna go ahead and go on to the topic of the week, Chris. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's probably a good time.
Topic time.
The topic is
John's mic
Red
is fixed.
Dead.
What?
We're
No,
talking
you-
about Red Dead trailers.
We're gonna mention it.
They tried to. I was actually.
We'll silence you.
I will say this. I was going to bring it up in the beginning because he didn't put it in. And I just want to say the coolest thing that I've now seen about that game is when you kill an animal, you have to put it on the back of your horse and take it into town to get skinned. And I don't know why that makes me hype, but I really want to do that.
Can you stack like several animals?
I don't think so.
You don't know this
and
shit.
it decays. They were saying over time. So if you don't bring it in,
So much to worry about.
right?
All right, I got like dinner to fix and like bills to pay. I don't want to worry about decaying animals in my video game.
Oh, but you're fine with raising a child that apparently you're estranged from.
What do you mean?
God of War.
Because we're going to kick arse. Yeah,
Is that okay? I guess that's okay.
arse. Yeah, that's fine.
Kid takes care of
Except
himself.
in Ireland, they're like, no.
No, he just cursed that man.
Don't you know?
That's not a
Yeah, that was a drop the ball there.
Yep.
Yep.
the old mythical ball that dropped by John. The
I disagree with both of you. I did not drop the ball. That was an authentic Irish accent.
Oh, he brought it back.
Jerk
Let's
face.
go ask Karen tomorrow.
Yeah, I
I'll
don't
be
know.
like, we'll record you and I'll take it to Karen.
You already have.
That's true.
You're already doing it.
I'll be like, Karen,
Fake
can
news.
can you listen to this real quick? How do you feel about it? It's terrible? Cool. thanks.
Iran
Move.
is the first time I've ever pulled out of anything.
That's not true. Paris.
That's topical, and I like it. That's good stuff.
But for real, the topic.
I would never pull out of Paris.
Ever
She's beautiful.
love those Hiltons.
That's funny.
Oh man,
Anyways, the topic though, for
you didn't
real.
know what to do.
No, I was just letting you finish. Someone's got to be the professional.
This is true.
Yeah.
Who spiked my Red Bull?
I don't know.
That's
you give us-
what happens when you drink a thing of sugar after you ate a bag of sugar. And you ate your Burger King.
Oh, that's so good.
so
Have we
good.
talked about that yet?
Yes.
Dude, it was the best chicken sandwich.
Anyways, the real topic, we thought about it, and there's a thing that we have not talked about on this show, really outside of news, I would say, right?
News.
We're not there yet.
Oh, I was about to let one go.
But probably we kind of kept on the DL for a while, was that with VR, one, kind of to give an update on it, because it's been a while since it's been out. But two, back in, I think, February, I got an Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
And here very recently, you got the
my
PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
And even our buddy of the show, Jeff, he also got a PlayStation VR. So we have had...
Do we officially say Jeff is possibly the reason you got an Oculus?
Actually, I think I kind of slowly was thinking about getting the PSVR, and I kind of worked it to then he just pulled the trigger finally.
Right.
And then afterwards, when we had that unexpected thing happen at the end of February, I was like,
Okay.
I have this much? Okay, I will spend the extra 50 at that
Which
point.
then prompted
Yeah.
a phone call to me who says, go do it.
Yeah. So I did it. And then you were all like one day just like,
I wanted to play Moss really
yeah,
bad.
Yeah. So you were like, we're doing it. And I was like, well, this is a ticking time bomb for Sean.
And I dropped a few hints, and next thing you know, happy birthday, buddy.
Right?
And so, yeah. So now we just figured it was a great time to, I guess, talk
Bring
about
up.
it.
Yeah. And it also kind of coincides with.
Shouldn't we wait until I get one?
No, you're not important.
You're not ever going to get one.
Yeah. You hate VR.
Yeah, you don't even like,
We've established this.
yeah, you don't like anything in virtual reality, John.
Things you hate are like one Kojima, two VR.
Did I hate Oculus Rift when I tried it? I took off the headset and went, this
No.
This is
I didn't say
horrible.
Oculus. I said VR.
Yeah.
And the third apparently is Red Dead Redemption because you don't think it's the biggest game coming out this fall, even though everyone's getting out of its way.
I hate your hype about that game. You're making me
I'm going to
hate-
make you hate Spider-Man now.
You're making me hate that game is what it is because of how excited you are. And something in me is demented to where I can't see you be joyous and just accept you being, like
But
that.
you know what's going to happen is about a week before,
I'm going to be all in.
I'm going to grab that Richard
and me
and me and you, we're going to the Old West together.
up, down.
And plus the other big news you guys forgot, confirmed now, John Marston's in the game. Come on, guys.
Is it? Can you wait and kind of drop that ball later, Chris?
Well, it was in the freaking trailer.
That's a big ball.
I'm sorry, it's been on every website this week. He apparently missed that news story.
Why do you keep
Anyways.
saying he? We have an amazing staff that gets together the show notes and does our research.
I call our staff John. All of them.
I mean, we. There I go again. I can't. Am I? Nope.
no, it's
I'm
the
not,
headphones going out.
I'm not reading. No,
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
are.
even-
Yeah, wait a minute. Hold on. We can do this like professionals. Your headphones just went out. That's all it was.
No.
Yeah,
you
look.
cannot see.
You're on. You're on.
See.
You just have a low feminine voice, John.
No, man. Come on. That is not.
See, you're
back.
You think you
Now-
sound better if that's your volume in your headphones. This is a top notch podcast.
Yeah, we're doing great work here.
Yeah.
John, I will adjust you as just need be. But
That's
if you
okay,
No,
John.
see, he's fine. He's fine.
you might need to though. If I tell you, just move a little bit back because you're higher up now.
Yeah.
I think
no-
it's like short
And no
forward.
teeth. Okay.
Okay. But anyways,
Scrapey, scrapies.
the other big thing that happened this week was, or I believe it was last week, was Oculus Go
Yes.
came out, which is kind of a big deal because it's
That's
Oculus
how we tie
is
into the topic of the week.
yeah. Oculus has put out now a headset where it's kind of closer to the tech that you're finding in, I guess the ones where it's like the Samsung VR and all that.
Yeah,
But instead of using a phone, it's actually built to be its own independent thing. No wires. It's got a headphone jack if you want to use it, and it's got like a little device for a pointer clicker thing. It's you're not gonna be able to do things like Robo Recall on that, but you could do like things like all the apps and the more simpler games and all that kind of stuff that's going on. And a lot of people think that might be the kind of thing that is the next big step, if you will, because like everyone's trying to race towards that. That's the thing everyone wants to get to, is great VR without cords and without the need of a PC in order to do it. That will be the day it becomes probably about
Ready Player One.
Yeah, exactly. So, that was a big moment. And everyone seems to be, from what I'm reading, pretty positive. I know, was it Lenovo also has put one of those out recently, and everyone seems to be very high on that.
I still
and something
think
that's the way that they need to go.
I still think Nintendo's going to bring something like that out. Either a very cool 3D or a full out VR kit for the Switch.
Haven't they said
Well,
no?
Nintendo's all about tech
They
that's
say that?
interesting, so I don't think they'll do it.
You don't? I think it's going to be one made out of cardboard.
Technically, it's already out. I thought the robot one was kind of a... My voice cracked.
They did. Like prepubescent John.
I have pubes.
So, Sean,
Really?
what have you played so far on your PlayStation? Vita?
I've played Andres Iniesta, which is just it's a quick demo showing about the documentary that's going to come out. I played the demo disc 2.0 and a bunch of demos. One of the great demos I played that I can't wait for the full game, which this is no surprise if you're in the VR world. It's called Star Child.
Mm-hmm.
This game is going to be amazing. I purchased Moss, and that's my main play right now.
Okay. Have you started it?
Yeah, I've started it, and I am.
Do we do an episode on that?
We can totally do an episode.
Can I
on
come
Moss.
over and play that with you?
Yes,
Okay.
that game is amazing.
He invited me first.
Like it blew me away on how amazing that game is.
I like how when you said that, you sounded like Trump, because that's something he would say.
I've played the last.
I was invited first. I'm in front. Not me, not you. I am the winner.
It's the worst impression of me ever.
On that PlayStation Worlds disc, or whatever, not the Worlds, the 2.0 disc. I've got the disc came with the bundle, but I had pre-downloaded it before I opened the bundle.
Mm-hmm.
There was something else I played on there, so it was all of those are they're good demos. The Star Child one, way too short.
Yeah.
I really can't get enough of that. The game that I got with it was Doom. Thanks, John.
Very real.
Yeah. I'm a little scared to play Doom. Not because I'm scared to play Doom on a 2D scale.
You're
but-
scared of hard games?
Are you scared that you're gonna get like motion sickness?
You can put it on easy
John-
mode like Chris does.
John secretly thought or wished that when I actually I was really worried about motion sickness, right?
Sure.
He really hoped that I would have had motion sickness so I could have talked about how I destroyed everything in my room by throwing up. So,
That would be
Projectile.
perfect.
but yeah, so my main
I mean, this is like,
I will think about anything else I played to try to remember it. One of the the playroom with the little robots, the PlayStation, is it the playroom?
yeah, I think I know what you're talking
The
about.
little robots that hang out with you and stuff. They've got something you can download called Playroom VR something, maybe World.
That makes sense.
So when you download it, it has several different games that you can pick. And one of the ones that I've absolutely adored is one very similar to a Super Mario,
you can hear how interested John is in this episode.
not Odyssey. What's the one where he flies into space, John? Let's get you back in there. What's that one called?
Galaxy.
Yeah. You know how you fly to a galaxy planet and you got to figure it out real quick?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a mini version of that. My little brother actually played it and went, what would be cool is if Nintendo did bring Mario to VR on PlayStation, because that would be really cool to play. So, and if you, I don't know if it's like this with Oculus or not, Chris, but when you're watching somebody play VR, it looks weird. You're like, what does that do? Like, why? Because you look over at the person with the headset on and they're leaning over, they're going, wow, they're reaching for things. You're like, how does that translate? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so Tinley, and this is another thing I'm worried about. I've let her play little, like 20 minutes at a time. It's got a
I don't
warning.
think you're supposed to, are you?
I researched the warning. It says 12 years or younger, right? Or older. The Reddit people,
I read it wrong.
the Reddit people went like deep, like they do on the topic. Supposedly they came up with the 12-year-old mark for the headset fittage. They're worried about little kids' heads. And then there's no official study on, if this messes up anything with your eyes or your brain development. That's just what they're worried about. John pointed out that Nintendo chose 7 for 3D viewing.
Yeah.
Like, how do you pick those numbers? And what if my kid's 11? Like all of a sudden, because they're
Probably
not 12,
science.
but there's no backing behind it. I think it was just
I'm sure it's a risk assessment.
it's a
that they
risk
do.
assessment, and they don't want to get sued, basically.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna kind of watch it. I may let her do it for about 20 minutes at a time, 10, 15
I
minutes.
played 3DS before I was 7.
She loved it. But where was I going with that? Oh, that game's amazing. So she goes, "Hey, I need help with this." So I put the thing on, and you're sucked into this world that's
For sure.
It's not like playing a regular game. And everybody who's listening to this that has a VR, they're probably laughing. They're like, well, no crap. Welcome to what we've been saying. But I know the Oculus and Chris's beast computer, it's a different vibe. You don't use a camera to do your tracking. The PlayStation
No,
does.
the way the Oculus works is you have 2 sensors.
Yeah, I see one right
and
there.
yeah, one's right there. And whenever I set it up, I put the other one right there. And basically,
Oculus.
what you do is with the touch controllers, before you start, you kind of define where your play area is.
Yeah.
So it consistently, as you move to the ends, it'll warn you, be like, hey, stop. But these 2 things are what's tracing, whereas with you, it's the camera. So it's kind of easier for it to go a little bit out of alignment, is from what I've seen. And from my understanding, the top of that's like the HTC Vive, because it doesn't need any kind of sensors. It's all in the headset itself. So therefore, that's why it cost $8 billion, whatever it is.
The PlayStation uses the new camera, and to be honest, when you're initially setting it up, I don't know if I assume the Oculus setup was a lot more detailed.
Probably.
The PlayStation one kind of gets you in the headset pretty fast. You got a book, you put it on, you follow some things. It's in the post where you go into your actual settings, where you can adjust things like your eye width. So because, just like when you wear glasses, for example, it's very important how far away your eyes are from each other.
Yeah, you
because
do.
there's sweet spots
A lot
in the lenses.
of that is just done right here up front on the device.
Well, they tell you to wiggle it and move it and get it right, but
Yeah.
but apparently you can fix it. There's also hacks to place your headset on a mannequin head and line it up really close to the camera to when you're doing the sensor bar thing, you can really lock it in. I'm learning all this just in the week that I've had the thing, right? So again, people who are listening to this are like, well, no crap. Another thing people may not realize, and I say this because of a friend of the show, Jeff, is there's a lot of games out there to play.
There are. I mean, like, it's really weird because the way this is right now, obviously, it's not a big enough thing yet where you're going to see millions upon millions of consistent advertisements, because most of these games, they're not what you would call AAA scale games. They're not going to make Call of Duty numbers or anything, but there are games that are just consistently being released from big to mid to small tier studios on a weekly basis on just about all platforms.
Yeah.
And you can, if you're willing to go out there and look, you'll find something all the time. And that's what I like about this so far, is that I don't have to play this all the time. It's not like my main console where I feel like if I don't have a new game once a month, I'm going to get an itch. But what I've been doing really more so is just, I kind of shop through Humble Bundle, the Oculus Store, and Steam.
Yeah.
And like, I consistently find things that are on sale that are very highly rated by people. And I just, if I see it's like $10, I ain't got nothing else I'm doing. Boom, there's a game. I have like 3 to 5 hours of fun experience coming my way. So it's really good like that, where because if you're not consistently just always looking for the next humongous AAA thing, there's always something there for you. It feels like whenever you come back, and it's worth your time, because you're not, as you said, there's nothing else out there like those games. I can get another platformer in a moment, but putting on a headset and becoming Batman, I've never had that before until I did this.
And when Chris played that, you played it at our friend's house, and you said it was more of the investigative Batman.
I did it here.
Oh, you did it here?
Yeah, I did it on Oculus.
It's the detective vibe that Batman does. It's not necessarily about combat, which is refreshing.
Exactly.
Moss is a game that when I saw it, I believe it was at an E3, they were showing the PSVR stuff. This game is actually one that's made to be kind of what I think is what you may start seeing more VR games be like. It's a magical little game, and when I saw it, I said, Chris, I got to play as this little mouse.
Yeah.
So
I've heard great things about this game.
You put it on, And as soon as the mouse comes on the screen, my mouth dropped. I was like, oh my God. It's not like it's 4K definition. You asked me about that. No, it's not none of that. But I'm now in this world where I'm as big as a mouse and there's logs and I mean, John, you see me, right? And I know this is a visual, but I'm doing this and I'm looking down like the forest, like down this other log.
And getting off mic.
Yeah, well, I do that on purpose.
I know.
And I turn around and there's more forest and you're like, holy S, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, unless you see it, I don't know how to tell you how that transforms and works.
The same thing kind of happens with Batman VR. Like when you start that game, it starts with, of course, of everything with Batman, the murder of your parents. And like, you are the size of a small child and you're looking up and you're seeing these people, getting robbed and murdered. And it's like, you go like, oh, wow, I've never kind of had this experience or whatever. It's just very different. Or if you go from that to things like, I'm trying to think here, like Star Trek,
Oh yeah, the bridge game.
Yeah, sitting down into the captain's chair, and over here is the equivalent of Spock, and there's Sulu, and all these other things, and you're going back and forth and navigating the things. To then when you finally do the Kobayashi Maru in that game, it just feels so unique and cool. If you're a Star Trek fan, like I don't know if there's anything that's been quite like that out there before. If you go from that to then, I'm trying to think, Rick and Morty, like, putting that on for the first time and being like, I'm literally in an episode of Rick and Morty right now. And I've played, there can be games out there that capture Rick and Morty's style and all that. That's cool. But to actually sit and go, I am in Rick's garage right now, or now I'm in his spaceship, or there is literally the portal gun. I'm picking it up, firing it, and I'm about to walk through and I don't know where I'm going to end up. There's just nothing else that has kind of come out and felt like it. And you just go, okay, this is the beginning level. This is where we're starting out. And, kind of like how it was when 3D gaming hit in 96. And you go, this is where we're at now. Where does this go in 10, 15, 20 years as the technology gets better, as the experiences get more refined, and the developers get experienced with making these kinds of games? That's what makes this so cool, I think, to most people that are like hardcore into the gaming industry. And then on the other side, I totally understand why Facebook spent $1 billion or whatever it was on Oculus. I totally get it, because it's like this time for the NBA postseason, right? TNT has an app. You can literally put your Oculus on.
I don't know why you haven't.
Yeah, I need to. I might do it.
I don't know why you haven't when I saw that. Yeah.
But yeah, like you're there in your courtside watching the game. That's what you're doing.
How cool is that?
Yeah. Where else are you going to get that experience? So like you start to go like, think of all these
Oh
cool...
my gosh, LeBron just sweated on me.
Right?
Well, it's that idea, like...
Look at JR's tattoo.
Imagine, like, 10 years from now, we're doing the Super Bowl, and it's like, oh, by the way, if you want to pay $30, instead of having to pay the usual $1,000 to go to the Super Bowl, you can attend digitally. And you will get the full immersion of, as well as it can be done digitally, of being there versus just sitting on your couch and watching it. That's a really cool experience that I think... when I think of wide mainstream things going on with VR, that I understand where their allure is coming from, and much more in a way that like 3D could ever do. 3D kind
I was
of
just thinking
limitations.
of that. 3D, I remember not too long ago, every TV and all this stuff in your stores, it was 3D, 3D, 3D.
Yeah.
And now that's kind of not there.
Yeah. Because, it was something, it wasn't anything new. It was just that it had been upgraded a little bit. And you had people like Cameron coming out, making Avatar and doing it with purpose.
Yeah.
And then afterwards you had a bunch of other people just kind of tacking it on because they're like, well, this is the popular thing now and we can make more money doing it. Like when I go to the movies now, I can't remember the last time I went there with the intent of I want to watch that in 3D. I'm guessing the next time I might get it is if, I don't know if James Cameron's planning to go all in on 3D again for the next Avatar movie, but that would probably be the one I'd be somewhat anticipating.
And look, I gotta be honest. You've watched 3D stuff, right, John? You've seen stuff in 3D. Mm-hmm. Virtual reality is not 3D.
No, it's so much more.
It's like more. It's like a burger with bacon, John.
Yeah, I mean, when you went to see
because bacon changes
when you went
everything.
to see Jaws 3D or Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, then you go to Avatar and you go, you think this is 3D? This is so much more than 3D. It's just a repeat of history, in my opinion. It's just like this is the next big thing. It's the next iteration of immersion. And look, you know, where I think Oculus and things like that are going is, I think in 10 years, I think you'll be getting a liver transplant here in Columbus from a guy in Hong Kong. But,
That'd be interesting.
But that's not video games.
Sure.
Yeah, that's different.
We take, you know, video games, and I've said this before, video games harnesses a technology and then it moves on to other things.
Sure.
And we just look for the next thing. I came home and my wife,
Your wife. See?
when I tried Oculus for the first time, she said, "How is it?" I said, "It's amazing. Really a unique experience." But she goes, "Are we getting Oculus now?" I said, "No, I don't want it."
When you can, right.
So you can appreciate what it is and how amazing it is, but when push comes to shove, I think the average gamer goes, "That's really cool, but I really just want to hold a controller and look at a TV."
And he said that to
But
me
you can
today.
do that now.
He said that to me today, and I said, "Well, that's the thing." I'm going to say probably mention Moss a few more times, but when I saw what Moss was, it wasn't that demo type game that you put your headset on and now you're holding a gun and you're shooting things that just look like just non-detailed things you're shooting, right? They have true physics to them and they blow up, but who cares? That's showing off the tech, I think. A game like a Moss that was made to immerse you in this world with an amazing soundtrack to accompany it,
Or shoot.
a story to go with it. And like I'm sitting there and I'm holding the controller because I was drawn to that. I want to be able to hold a controller. And I'm moving this little guy around and we're going on this adventure. There are some games that I won't be able to play with just a controller. It's going to say no. In my case, I'm going to need to buy the PlayStation Move controllers. Chris has the Oculus handsets. And you got to, that's just what you're going to have to do.
Chris was showing me that shooter game.
Yeah, the game
And
I
look-
showed him is Total Robo Recall. And I mean, like, it took him a little bit. Like John did, he was slowly getting it very like quickly, and then like I showed him, like me who had played a couple of hours, like how far I had gone with this. And like Sean, we're talking like basically your Rift controllers are the guns. And they're also your hands. So you're consistently just like putting your guns down to your side to reload and shoot. And then like if you have a shotgun, you pull it over from the back and boom, you're shooting. But at the same time, as the robots come at you, you can freaking grab them, pull them in, rip them apart and toss them
And it
at
felt
other
natural.
robots.
It
And
felt
yeah, it
completely
all
natural.
felt natural and like really well done.
And it's like you said a few moments ago, you can't explain that to somebody.
No, you can't.
I can't.
They have to experience it.
And I felt that situation that you're describing with Moss. These things, these spider-looking things, jumped on me, and I got that.
You
I got
reacted.
that creepy, crawly sensation when something jumps on you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Chris probably could have filmed it and put it on YouTube or something.
and
it
always
was that crazy. Because I'm sure he saw me physically react to things that weren't there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, I get it, and it was amazing. Really was. But it's kind of like the thing you want to experience once in a while.
Sure.
You want to go to a.
you may think
want to
that.
go
It's
to a
one
show.
type of game.
Yeah.
You might think that. I think part of your disconnect, honestly, and I could be completely wrong, is that when you thought Oculus, your wife says, "Hey, Oculus," you go, "That's a computer. This is this, and this expensive." I think you have a PlayStation Pro. I think if you really tuned into the PlayStation VR world and saw how much PlayStation is really, they're not backing down from PSVR.
Oh, heck no.
It's not their. That's not going to be their main focus, but it's there. Units are selling. Games are coming out on it. There was a game that I saw that was called Home Run Derby, and I've friend of the show Mike and me used to go to a place called Hollywood Connection, a local arcade type place that's got a theater built next to it and everything. It was fun.
Rest
And
in peace, Carmine.
They had a cage, a batting cage you would get in with a big screen, and you'd hold a bat, and
Oh,
a pitch
yeah, I
would
remember
get
that.
thrown at you, thrown at you, and you'd swing and hit home runs. We wish that at some point we get that kind of game again. Home Run Derby VR is that you have your headset on, you turn your head like you're in the batter's box, you hold a Move controller, and he's throwing 90 miles an hour at you.
What was it like sitting down on the moon to watch Netflix? It's like the weirdest thing, but it's just so cool. I think to me, I kind of go like, okay, as I said, this is the baby step part. You know, like we're in the early days, and
I was going to say we're not adopters anymore.
Yeah, like it's already grabbing. You know, it's already interesting, and you want to see what it could be. So you go, what happens when this thing gets to a decade? You know, what happens when Activision is ready to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on a VR game, or Microsoft and Sony are willing to put out a headset that, you know, is functioning by itself, or even Nintendo, whenever they're ready to do that too. That's where it gets really freaking interesting. And then you start to go, what do people want? I think there are a number of people that the number one thing they look for in games, besides, you know, gameplay itself, is immersion. That's what they want. They want to be able to say, you know, God of War, like last week, that period where when you first come out to the lake, the first time you look around and you get your surroundings of that, that's a very immersive moment. Imagine now you can play a game where you're literally on that canoe doing the basic things. And, you know, that's interesting to people.
Would you guys, you know, understanding and, you know, how compelling the technology is, do you guys see any reason to throw a cautionary tale at technology like this?
I think the biggest thing will be if they can't figure out how to make it high end and wireless. If they run into that
I'm talking about cautionary tale as far as consequences of society. You know, social media, things like that have benefited society.
Sure.
But I'd argue that it's harmed society in just as many ways. It's detached us, it's detached us from people. It's detached us on real meaningful relationships. We allow ourselves to be absolute douche nozzles on social media because no one's actually looking down on you and seeing you and judging you for what you're doing. I'm just talking about should knowing the benefits of the type of technology. Can this have the potential to make us worse people as human beings?
I've always thought this. I think those things have always been there. It's just that now they have a place to be personified very easily. You know, it's nothing new. Like you'd always have that kind of talk before, whether it was just with your friends or whatever. But now, or even at the arcade way back in the day. But now it's like instead of having to really go someplace to have that experience, it's like, no, it's just at your fingertips. That's not going anywhere. If anything, it's already here in some form at least, because one of the most popular things on Steam right now is VR chat, where you just go and like people can design different worlds for social connection and all that kind of stuff.
Familiar?
And it's like, look, you have to, with anything that's out there, you have to take the fact that there's going to be bad with good. You can't, you know, what you want to do is just make sure that whoever is building these things understands, hey, there's some responsibility you are going to have to put to yourself.
But we never do. We never check. We never check ourselves.
Well, there are certain things you do have to, like for instance,
it's the neat shiny thing that detaches us from our friends, our families, the people that we have social responsibilities to. But we can't deal with that right now because we have something covering our eyes.
Sure, but for instance, like what Skype, Facebook, Twitter all do, where it's like you can't have an account until you're 13. That's a legal limitation that's put on. They don't choose to do it. They have to do those kind of things. And the same thing will have to happen with this. Whatever Oculus does, if they're going to have you opt into something that's a social construct, they have to control all that.
I've got family in Germany that love the local German football team, right? Mm-hmm. How cool would it be if I can go to a game with them?
And sit with them?
And literally sit with them.
Yeah.
Not FaceTime, flat screen, thing. Like I'm there with them.
Yeah, I think Facebook with the Oculus Go, they already put this kind of Facebook video chatting app where you can go and just chat with someone. They say it's great.
You literally feel like one of the things I felt like for me, if you're not a Harry Potter fan, you won't get this. When Dumbledore puts his head in the pensive and it just, and then you're there. That's what it does for me. And I'm right now, I'm still in positive. It's new mode for me. I'm sure there's people that may be listening. They go, it'll rub off. For me, I don't think it is, because the reason I got it was to have an experience with a game like Moss. It's to now, I feel like it's a good point to pick up this technology, because I think it's at a point where there's enough stuff out there that it can be good. It's only going to get better. I do worry that it's funny that we say things like, hey, have you seen that video of that robot dog? How scary is that? You know, we talk about technology and
scary.
robots and things like that, yet we get happy when a new piece of tech comes in and it slowly is nipping away at what makes us humans, which is the interaction and the need to be around each other, talk, communicate. But I think I'm a little disconnected from that because I still have you guys as friends. We still go to lunch. We still throw Richard jokes out there. We ride together. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I kind of have always viewed that stuff like, look, I think people are threatened when new things show up, and it's not necessarily that they're automatically good or bad. It just takes time to find its place. And I believe on the whole, when like society has something that they have a problem with and they demand it, a lot of times if they really do have a problem with it, it wins out, especially within the market. Like people, if you remember the early days of online gaming, you had this huge problem that was always huge. Problem that was coming out that like you would go into rooms and you would just get people that were vile, and they were, you know, whether they were young teenagers or they were 30-year-old men or whatever.
The lurkers are going to be there.
It's kind of, it's risen over time.
Right.
But at the same time, you look at all the controls, it's like Microsoft and Sony, they heard all those complaints and they said, okay, fine, we're going to give you the ability to block people from your headset. We're going to give you the ability to mute them. We're going to give you the ability to report them. And more importantly, later on, eventually they found the perfect solution for that, which was we're going to just let you get into the party and you can choose who comes into that. So, you know, you could still play with everyone else. And if you want to go interact with them unfiltered and not having to worry about, go right ahead. You have that access. It's there for you. But you yourself have the power to control what you do with this. And that's about all you can ask of people as far as I'm concerned, you know, outside of them doing something that is harmful or threatening to other people, whatever, where law enforcement has to get involved. So we'll see. I'm sure everything will adjust.
Like I said, I feel like right now this is a great time to get into the VR world. If you have a PlayStation Pro, preferably. I think PlayStation are doing good things with the PSVR. Mm-hmm. They've already implemented a new model headset. They've adjusted some changes on it to where, you know, we're humans are dumb, right? We do dumb things. We run over things. We step on things. We spill things. So they fixed some stuff with the actual cable management. There's still wires on the PSVR end.
Yeah.
If you've got a great computer, Chris said there's tons of stuff always on sale on Steam.
Yeah.
Humble Bundle, the Oculus Store.
I'm trying to think of things I would recommend.
It's only going to continue to get better. We're not early adopters anymore.
Well,
we are still earlier adopters.
But not you know what I mean?
Oh, that, yeah, I guess.
If you're looking at like a calendar and dates, we're just off of the beginning, but it's going to get better from here. And I'm very excited
My
about
wife
that.
said,
Your wife?
that night, she said, what if they bring Zelda to VR? And I said, well, let's hope that day never comes.
I mean, you already have it like with people right now, like Skyrim.
Dude.
There are people that love the game, and you have told them now, whether you're on Oculus, Payne's about to get whooped,
PlayStation, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. You can plug this game up, put a headset on, pull the sword out of, you know, your bag, and boom, you're off. And hey, there's a Draugr. I'm going to go fight that. Now I'm going to go into this cave and explore wherever it's going, into this dwarven ruin. You can do all that now.
In VR.
Or, you know, you can, for those who love horror right now, you can go and play Resident Evil in VR.
I'm going to do it.
Yes.
Let me tell you why. So I'm sitting there with the mouse. She's adorable.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And she's doing something adorable in front of me, but she makes a splash in the water. And I didn't see this, but a deer is in the background and its head pops up like a deer does. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And I thought, what if I was playing Skyrim and that was a dragon? Oh, I just imagine if you're in the woods and you see a deer as a human, you go, oh. I went, oh. You know what I mean? Like there was a.
I have never once in the woods when I saw a deer gone, whoa.
Well, as far as I was concerned, I just saw a deer. And
well, just wait till that black tar creature comes out of the wall in that family's basement.
There's another horror game out.
You're in VR mode. Your bowels just release.
There's another zombie game out right now that you might want to look for. Arizona Sunshine. Everyone talks about that. I know it's on Steam, and I believe it just came to PlayStation VR not too long ago.
Oh, VR.
Yeah.
They did something new with the Killing Floor 2. They have a VR mode for the Killing Floor.
As far as things on Oculus, I can recommend if you're a fan of Rick and Morty, both Rick and Morty VR and accounting, or if you have PlayStation VR accounting plus, are highly recommended. They're both scripted by Justin Roiland, or whatever his name is, Roiland. I can't remember how you say it. So you will. That game is like, especially accounting plus, is the greatest WTF moment I've ever had in a game. I think like as soon as I put this on, I was like, what is happening? And it didn't help that Jeff had gotten me drunk first. So I was just like, what is going on?
I was worried about motion sickness, and I think if you have that concern,
So disappointed.
yeah, it can be a thing. When I played the demo for something on the demo disc 2.0, something was moving, and I had to sit down.
Yeah.
It does. It throws you off.
That's the weirdest part is like when it's not working, it's very noticeable. And again, that's the kind of stuff that you go, early gen versus.
No, I mean the screen. Like
Yeah.
I was moving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't that something wasn't working.
Oh,
It was,
okay.
We were moving now,
And it was like
And
weird for
Sean
you.
was moving with it, but I was standing still. It's a weird thing. There's
Yeah, it
little
throws your
things
brain off.
like that throw you off, and I think if we ever get to a point, John, to where if I'm in a game, let's say I'm playing Assassin's Creed VR in 2-3 years, right? The disconnect would be that I'm in a desert. It looks great. I'm going to think that's awesome. But if some kind of way, you mentioned this today, they can incorporate you all of a sudden feeling a little bit of warmth, like you're outside. Or if you jump in
That'd
water.
be the Leia suit and Ready Player One.
Right. If they start adding that element to your experience, you'll never look back. There are people that now that they play the virtual reality games, they don't want to play what they call a flat game anymore.
The weirdest game I saw today, or a game at least has my interest, is it's called Duck Hunt. And it's very much in the design of, it is the summer of 1988 and your mom has gotten you the new latest game called Duck Hunt. And on the surface, it very much seems like an ode send up to Nintendo, but then like something starts going weird and crazy as you're playing it. So I'm kind of looking at, I think it was like $10. I might pick that up today. Super Hot VR. If you ever played Super Hot, I enjoy Super Hot, but I think Super Hot VR was 10 times better than I ever liked the actual Super Hot game.
Well, you just mentioned something in passing that was really important. A lot of these games aren't going to break your bank, right?
No.
And I think at first you may think, well, that sucks. That means the games aren't good. Don't look at it like that. Look at it as you're going to be able to go into a world for several hours, complete the
Maybe.
game.
Some of them are shorter.
Some of them are short, but you know what I'm saying? You don't have to, especially if you're a busy person and
You're paying for an experience.
you got kids to worry about, dinner to make, things
Yeah.
to do.
And
And that
honest-
way you're able to get in this world, experience it, not break the bank, and have a really, really
Honestly,
good
like
experience.
right now, I don't know if there were many games that I would want to like just consistently be playing with a VR headset on for 10, 12 hours, but that's something for them to solve over time. And who knows?
Yeah.
We ready to?
I would say this. We got to say if we'd recommend, since we own it.
Oh, I give Oculus Rift a solid 8.5.
We're going
Richards.
out for some
yeah,
reason.
It's because John was leaning over.
I'm giving PlayStation at least an 8, the VR at least an 8.5, almost a 9. I just want to, I want to see what titles I end up playing, and because what I played so far, even the demo, even the dumb little PlayStation World thing, even especially Moss, it's amazing to me. I want more at this point. So it's right now it's high, I don't think, if you're on the fence, I don't see why you wouldn't do it.
No,
really
yeah. If
don't.
you have the money and you have the setup, I mean, if you're asking, I've played both PlayStation and
Oh yeah, talk about
And
the
that-
headsets. Which
and
one do you
that-
think is more comfortable? I forgot to ask you that.
Oculus is a little bit better. And I think in general, Oculus, if you're asking me between the two right now, which one I would prefer playing, it's Oculus, just because it comes with the full setup, like with the motion controls and everything. You have a little bit better technology
If you
within
don't
it.
have a PC, PSVR.
Yeah, if you don't have the gaming PC already, there's no reason to go out there and buy this or build a PC just to do this, unless you just really want the best, and then even then I would say you're probably getting the HTC Vive. But if you just want to play, these games now, the fact that you can get, I think it's like for $300 now is the base. Most
$299, yeah.
Yeah, like there's no reason why if you're interested in VR that it's not worth your time or your money at this point.
Yeah.
So go do it.
And I don't know about you, Chris, but I'd love to hear on suggestions.
Yeah,
on
please.
things people made because we're both kind of new to the world. We want to play really
speak
good.
For yourself.
You're like 2 months ahead of me.
I got mine in February.
Yeah, it's May.
Yeah,
3 months.
It's gonna be May.
It's May, bruh.
But I've already been to 55 billion VR.
I'm already a veteran in VR.
Yeah, I'm the best.
I am the best VRist ever.
I'd love to hear from you guys. Get me some games to play, and we're definitely gonna talk about some VR games. We're gonna try to get John to at least get a PlayStation VR.
That ain't gonna happen.
You don't know. Wait till he plays Moss, Chris.
Okay.
Wait till you see Moss, Chris.
Let's go do some news.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Hot off the press and straight to your ears. Weekly Games Chat presents the news.
Subpar news.
It is pretty subpar.
Subpar?
Battle Royale inspires.
What is Battle Royale?
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale.
Activision CEO Bobby Kotick has said that they are paying close attention to the likes of Fortnite and Battle Royale.
Of course,
that would be PUBG. He has indicated his admiration for Fortnite for attracting new gamers of all ages and genders. When we see things that appeal to our audiences, we are very good at being inspired by those. Is this a hint of more Battle Royale features coming up in the new COD game? Furthermore, Activision has indicated that it is utilizing and pushing more resources to COD for PC. They are working towards making Call of Duty on PC a game that will push the envelope with innovation. I think there was also some rumors out today that there's a new zombie mode coming with the new.
Yeah, people love the zombies in Call of Duty.
Which that's not too surprising.
I just feel like everybody's going to be like Fortnite, and we've talked about this many times already.
Yeah.
So it's a no-brainer.
This is definitely why, if that rumor is true that they're foregoing a single-player campaign, this is why.
Yeah.
They're spending more resources building Battle Royale mode.
For sure.
Which may be pretty awesome.
Yeah. They could potentially own that. Potentially.
You think so?
If anyone could,
yeah.
they would just have Blizzard make a Battle Royale game, and then, well, we already know what would happen, right? I know what would happen. Everyone would be like,
we
Blizzard!
Know. We know.
Yeah.
They don't know. We know.
We all know.
Yeah.
Does Blizzard also make Red Dead Redemption?
No.
They might if you keep this up.
No.
If I keep this
If we ever have an Overwatch Red Dead crossover, oh, man.
That'd be terrible. It would mix.
WoW Red Dead crossover? They did a zombie one.
No.
It works.
No, Red Dead doesn't work.
StarCraft and Red Dead.
That works.
Fortnite is huge.
Huge.
Despite being free to play, Fortnite is bringing in lots of cash. It's become the biggest free to play console title of all time and has earned $223 million across all platforms last month alone. That doesn't surprise me at all.
My son comes home Friday.
Mm-hmm.
He's been at his dad's all week, so he came to our house Friday. He said, "So, gonna need to get the battle pass." I said, "What's a battle pass?"
Yeah.
I thought this was free to play.
It is.
So when I told him, I said, "Look, Aiden, I just don't think you're that good enough yet for me to be investing money."
Oh, you got to get the
And
kid
dude,
the battle pass.
just relax. Let me tell the story.
Oh,
He
okay.
started flipping out.
Yeah.
Flipping out.
Yeah.
Because we are the only house, and I feel bad. I feel bad for him with this. We're the only house where there's video games.
Mm-hmm.
So he's, I didn't mean that in a negative way towards his stepdad. I'm sorry, his dad.
I know what you mean.
I just he has to, he has to spend a week playing a game and then forget about it for a week. That's got to be
You're putting what
awful.
you're doing is you're putting yourself in the mindset of a teenager who wants to play video games like you did growing up, and then you got to go a week without it. It has to suck.
Then when
And
this
he's
is like literally the center of the universe right
particularly with Fortnite. And he's like, so we go back and forth, and Clarissa convinces him to use his own money, and I go, no. So I got him the battle pass. I think it's like
It's like $25.
No, it's cheap, much cheaper than that. It's
Was it?
It's $10.
Oh, okay.
It's the
Yeah,
equivalent.
that's right.
What is it? V-Bucks they call them.
Yeah.
So like
$9.99.
$9.
I'm sorry,
Exactly.
I
It's like
spent-
$9.99 for
That's
for
right.
a
I
pass.
spent $25 the last time I bought it. The last season.
but
Did not play that much.
and I gave him credit to his face. He's one of those kids that if he's not naturally good at something, he
Sure.
don't want to do it. There's no concept of get better at something.
Get good.
If you yeah. This is the first time he's actually jumped into something where he is completely gets owned every match, but he keeps coming back. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, good. I mean, he's finally kind of, I mean, and it's an online game.
Yeah.
So he's sort of getting, I think he's just getting a little bit more confidence. Sometimes he likes to get eliminated, and I'll wrap it up. Never. He'll get eliminated, and then he'll watch the rest of the match. He
Yeah,
likes to
I
watch
mean,
it.
Yeah, you got to see how
Yeah.
it gives you tips.
Yep.
You know, it shows you how to.
That's what these games do so well that I think has really driven the whole entire industry is that it makes it like, whereas people get ticked off all the time in Call of Duty when they die or it just doesn't go their way because for the most part, that's the only thing they can do to judge themselves. Whereas here, the adventure every single time to win this thing is what's so fun about it. And you kind of go in going like, okay, there's 100 other people or 99 other people besides myself in this. The probability of me ever winning it, especially if it's just one-on-one.
It's 1 in 100, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it's so minuscule.
That's the
that
exact
you
probability. 1 in 100.
Yeah. You don't worry about it versus like when you get to the end of the game and then you feel this huge tension, come up all of a sudden. Now you're like worried
just
about
your Richard.
every little thing.
You hear me?
And, you're in a car with Sean and people are on the other side of the bridge and they're,
Has any of y'all won a Fortnite match before?
Not a one-on-one. I haven't. I've won
I have.
the duo and the four. You won a one-on-one?
Mhm.
Like you versus him? Good job.
What's a one-on-one?
like
You
when
versus
when
everybody?
you're not part of a team or a
Okay.
squad. I have only won one match ever. No, I have won 2 matches now in PUBG.
PUBG?
Yeah, that's my
In
record. in
PUBG,
that.
they've had to make changes because of how big Fortnite is and the things they do.
Sure.
Now in PUBG, you get to watch other people play when you die.
Yeah.
That used to not be the case. Like
No,
you literally get to
you were done.
Now you get to zoom in. You get to see everybody who's left and zoom in on what you want to. And almost it's like an a la carte movie video game experience ish. It's pretty cool.
World Video Game Hall of Fame inductees were announced. It's coming up there, buddy. We'll get you on the season 4. Space War.
What?
John Madden football.
Yeah.
The football with the boom and the bop. Turkey.
What's that?
Tomb Raider. Let go, John. Fantasy.
know what to let go.
Final Fantasy 7. That's why I just gotta let go. I'm amazed that John Madden football wasn't already in there, given it's.
I'm amazed that we used to call it John Madden.
See, you
I
had a
bet
name.
kids today. Have you gotten to play the new Madden game? Yeah, cool. Do you know who Madden is?
He was a person? Like what?
Yeah. He's the guy that says Tom Brady in the menu before, I start the game. They always say that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, well, that's because you don't play Madden because you suck
Yeah,
at it.
because the last game I played, I beat you, and that's all I need to do.
You
can
went
be
1 in 90.
It doesn't matter.
you can be a tad bit surprised that Tomb Raider has not been in there yet, but you can be very surprised that Final Fantasy VII's not in there
Yeah, which
already.
is
I
considered.
don't know how old is it. Like the one of those that's the most surprising to me that wasn't already in there. If it's just the full franchise is Madden, just because that's a
I don't think
1990
I don't think
was
it's
the first one.
I don't think it's the whole thing
Then why would you call it John Madden football?
because that was the name of the first video game.
But
There was-
you're
there
saying
was-
so you're saying next year Madden 91's coming in?
Possibly. All I know is there was Bill Walsh football. There was John Madden football.
Tecmo Bowl.
I'm sure Final Fantasy 8 will be in there next year. Sea of Thieves update. A new update has been added to the limited edition rifle. Ooh, players can purchase the quote
think you said
Launch
that right,
Crew
Chris.
Eye of Reach rifle for only the next 2 weeks. Oh, okay. Oh, added to it or is added limited edition.
Yeah, the right- yeah.
There you go. The weapon will cost 1 gold.
What?
That's not very rare. Rare has reduced skeleton accuracy when shooting cannons from islands at long distances. 4 new cosmetic outfits have been added. I might check this out later.
I don't think you will.
Well, later this month, I plan on reactivating because State of Decay 2 will be out, and I want to give that a try. So
Have you seen the new spokesman for Sea of Thieves?
Oh, Sean Austin?
No,
Oh, is there someone else besides Sean Austin?
Sean Astin.
Aston, sorry.
Yeah, we don't know who
Yeah, he's been
Sean Austin,
since the game launched.
I didn't know that.
Son
I've
of
just
Stone
only
Cold.
recently seen him in ads.
Yeah, they've been
Sean Austin, son of Stone Cold.
Yep. If I could get Samwise Gamgee walking in like Stone Cold,
Yeah.
just glass dropping,
Punch.
punches an orc.
There's only one way to make a batch of conies.
Wow. That was
Conies.
wow.
What just happened?
Conies, the rabbits from Two Towers.
Was it,
What just happened?
Then I go, what's Tazers?
Exactly.
But while we're on Lord of the Rings talk, can I get it? They won't pass, or you shall not pass. Can one of y'all do it for me?
He does it. That's
I need
his thing.
somebody can't pass right now, Chris.
You shall not pass. Oh, is it, go back to the fire. I can't do it when you cue me.
to the fires for whence you came.
Flame of Undun.
Is there a
it
better epic?
You have
shot?
engaged a day.
Is there? Think
Send
about that the
on.
way that they film that, right? And they kind of zoom way out. And you see the little guys like on their adventure, and then he goes.
While we're on this,
It's
My
like it
Sat-
should,
if I wasn't married, my Saturdays would be Lord of the Rings.
I sent this,
Every Saturday, The Hobbit included, because that's an underrated trilogy.
I sent this to Josh yesterday, and I feel like it's important you guys see this.
Oh my god, that is amazing. He's showing us a video of Gandalf
John,
the
get off
Grey
the mic.
in front of a king, and he shows him what's underneath his gray cape, which is a hot mess. And the king apparently is very shook by such
John is in full John mode.
imagery.
I might have to turn John
John's
off.
fine. He's fine right now. Let it go. And Legolas gives a look like, what
Look at
just
how much
happened? It's fine. It's fine.
He's wearing tiny whities.
It's perfect.
He's got the tiny whities with the little sag to him, so you see a
Penny.
little bit of butt crack. Yeah, it's good.
Get off the mic.
It's good stuff. And we're back. And we're back.
All right. On that note,
You gotta send me that.
Fortnite.
Please send me that.
Yeah, well,
He needs that in his life.
Fortnite Season 4. I'm regretting this already. Fortnite Season 4 sees a comet crashing into the Battle Royale map. Spoilers. Adding a new crater area, skins, and an alien new item. According to the official notes, shards of massive comet have crashed into the map, altering the landscape. In those sites, you will find Hop Rocks, which is a new item that gives you low gravity powers for a limited time. The latest Battle Pass has added 100 new tiers of rewards, including 7 new superhero themed skins.
I wonder
Gee,
if
was there any other important Fortnite news this week, Sean?
apparently Thanos is a playable character.
Well, that doesn't seem important at all.
He you can't pick up anything with Thanos, but you can use the glove, I think.
Point of order.
The gauntlet.
Point of order. I think this news dropped on Monday, which
Correct.
is technically when I would have had show notes done.
That's not.
So your point is moot.
Oh, not mute, Chris.
No.
Moot.
Moot.
It was. They had already been.
The
talking
big question
about it
is
Friday.
though, is can the Hop Rocks be mixed with Coke?
That's important.
See, because Pop Rocks, John.
I think the other thing they said is they've already discovered a hatch that you cannot destroy.
And
a
Chris
lot
and
of
I are
people
hoping it's yeah.
Yeah, it's like some weird writings on the side, but like as soon as you tell me there's a hatch on an island, there's only one thing I'm thinking of.
We got to go back.
We gotta go back.
Lost, John.
Tell me what to do.
Don't tell me what to do.
No, it was, he's crying and
Oh yeah,
he's looking down into the hatch. I don't
pounding.
know.
Oh, so John's seen Lost. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
You and I were together
Fun fact.
the night of the finale.
Were you there?
You guys were.
Thanks, man.
You were so forgettable.
Funny part is we were together too, but you remember that?
Yeah, I do. We stood up and watched it the whole time.
Yeah, had Moe's that day too. That was back when Moe's was good.
Yeah, we did. Moe's is still
Wait,
good.
what?
You want to go eat Moe's? Oh, that sounds so good.
Chipotle.
I shouldn't have ate that bag of cookies.
God of War. That's why I
Time out,
bought it.
Chris. Time out. As you listeners know, we go eat dinner after this fine podcast,
I'm still going. I just
and
still
John
not
is.
hungry right now.
You will be. I have faith in you,
You sound
Like a
John. If there's one thing I know,
a mangina.
I got to think of a word.
there's one thing I know about John's this. No matter if he wants to eat food or like he needs to eat food, like he's actually truly hungry, you know how to shove large things in your mouth and swallow them instantaneously.
Yeah, you do.
I've seen you do it for years. You're the fastest eater I know.
I
to be fair, I'm second fastest. I think.
No,
you're
you're not a fast eater to me.
Really?
No.
Well, I mean, he's on the low end.
He's pointing at me, people.
Yeah.
This
Sean
is Sean.
I think you're the second slowest person. Like literally to the point yesterday, like you kept edging it on. I was like, eat your.
That was not fair
chip.
because you guys got your dinner. Or
Yeah,
your lunch.
no. And we gave you time. And then like there was this point where you were trying to have a conversation and I'm like looking down, I'm like, eat your freaking chip.
It was so good. Yesterday was so good. I love food.
Anyways, God of War.
Yes. Back on track.
Director Cory Barlog.
Barlog. You're welcome.
Whatever. Barlog. A Barlog.
Whoa. This is big news, by the way.
Has revealed, that he has thought about some plans for at least 5 more God of War games. Obviously, it doesn't mean that they are wording, because that's what the person typed who wrote this. I think he means working, though.
It's part of the show now.
Yeah. They are
It's
working
just a
on
thing.
5 more games. However, if demonstrated that they have given a lot of thought to the lore for future installments, Cory Barlog clarified that the future of the franchise is, quote, going to be more measured than the statement he previously said. A sequel is most certainly underway, as the game has now sold 3.1 million copies in just its first 3 days of release, making it the fastest selling PlayStation exclusive thus far. And also, I guess, adding some relief to those who were concerned that single player games were dying. I was not concerned. But yeah, that's great news for them because, I mean,
You
like I
did not
said,
read what I wrote at all.
yeah, I know. Well, after I got to the wording part, I just kind of started improving. I gotta say, it's really good to see that because, as I said, the high for PlayStation or for God of War, as far as I know, has been like 5 million. The last couple have been more of like around 4 million. And I don't think God Ascension even sold 3. So to see like in 3 days, you sold 3.1 million copies of this game. Think of where that's going to be like after Christmas this year. I'm sure this game will sell somewhere between 5 and 10 million.
I wonder if it'll sell at least 10.41 million.
That would be nice. Speaking of PS4 sales, Sony's fiscal results for the last financial year have been released, and the company has confirmed that its worldwide shipments for PlayStation 4 have now reached a whopping 79 million units. For the upcoming fiscal year, Sony has forecasted 16 million consoles to be shipped. Software is up 18% year over year. Good for them. They got
That's
money.
good.
I would say, how long was last generation? 8 years?
Longer, I think.
Maybe.
Or no,
I don't know. I don't know why we do this.
2004?
Why do we do this?
2006 to 2013, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
So let's
for
go
them.
6 to 8 years, guys.
So
Yeah, for them, that's right.
think about that.
Yeah.
Sony and Microsoft sold about 80 million consoles that generation. Think about that.
I don't know if you know this.
And they've already reached it. Yeah,
Already
but
reached
their
it.
speculation, I don't buy into it, guys, that they're working on the PS5 already.
Oh, of course they are.
I mean, they are. They
No,
always
no.
are.
I mean, like it's going to come out like
no.
in a year.
No.
Type of
I
speculation.
think they've already
I would-
shut that down.
I would say either
Maybe
next
not.
year or the year after. At the latest, the year after.
I feel like we had a story.
Yeah.
Whereas like 2020 is the more realistic date.
Hence I
just
said
saying.
either
I'm just
next
saying.
year or the year after. That
I'm
would be
just
the latest
saying.
I'm going.
Okay.
The latest I'm going is 2020.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't really want to spend money on a new console. 2 years later, still don't. I think we got spoiled by the long generation last year.
For sure.
I liked
I can't
that-
see it.
I liked
know?
it that way.
Yeah.
Once you go long generation,
I think it's more of like now, and that's why you see what Microsoft's doing because it's like technology is moving so quickly now. And that was the thing that kind of changed from the older one. So, Nintendo's new president, current Nintendo president Tatsumi Kimishima, will retire in June and be succeeded by Shintaro Furukawa. Furukawa is currently a board member for both Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. He will become Nintendo's 6th president in its 128 years of operation.
what?
Quote, we will develop the company to its fullest, and I will balance
Hold
Nintendo's
up.
traditions, originality, and flexibility.
How the hell has Nintendo been around for 128 years?
During the NES era, that guy was around ages. Plus, he
Dude,
oversaw.
what did Nintendo do for
They used to be
128
a trading
years?
card company.
They've always
Like
been a
card.
toy
Yeah.
company
How do I not know this?
because you're dumb.
Good point.
So
should
that
go read.
president,
Do you know how long ago 128 years was?
Literally 128 years ago. It's
So
like
they-
over a century
that-
and a quarter.
I forget the guy's name, but that guy oversaw the NES, the Super NES, the
Yeah.
GameCube, and the beginnings of the Wii.
I would also
and the
be
64. Sorry,
I'd also be willing to more so bet as far as why there are only 6 that for a long time there wasn't a president.
48
It was
years,
just
and I'm
an
like,
owner.
that makes sense. 128 years?
Yeah,
he probably operated by boards for a
Yeah.
time.
probably family business at first.
It's
Probably
always
just an
been. It's
owner.
always
Yeah.
been the president over that Nintendo NES era was
Mhm.
a member of that family.
Because wasn't it?
And
It
the
was
family is still a heavy
Yeah.
stock owner in the company.
because
But there's a
We're
reason
talking
why.
like 1920.
well, it was some time like
more like 1895
Yeah.
or something like
I was
that.
going to say 1920 is a long time ago to be counted as.
they
What the
were
hell was
they were
Nintendo
very
doing?
They
they were
make it-
very traditionalist and focused on certain things.
was the name
and
of the
then
cards?
it was I can't remember, but it
a
was
certain
like
type of card.
it was around the 1960s where like the son
now-
of the grandson.
That's fine.
Of the
You're
owner,
bringing me to the 60s, dude. We're
Yeah.
going farther back than that.
They started out as a card company. There was a
Yes.
certain type of playing card,
card.
that
Yes.
originated in Japan. I forget the name
Like
of the
you
cards.
can like U.S. companies were not allowed to bring this card in.
back 130 years ago
Yes.
that were games.
It was very big.
What do you think Cowboys played?
Yeah.
Poker.
Right.
What do you think Vegas uses?
This is what
You're
Sean sounds
dumb.
like. Not dumb.
No,
When
you're dumb.
When I'm sorry, I didn't go look at the history of Nintendo.
Yes,
John.
when it comes to this topic, you are dumb.
you didn't.
I've read the book that like he has.
First of all, you haven't read
Console
you
Wars.
haven't read the Nintendo book.
Well, there's-
No, it's all in the what's it called? The
Stop it.
you know what I'm talking about.
Console
You
The-
read the
Wars?
cliff
Is that it?
notes
Yeah.
of the thing.
yeah, that president though
I'll
during
go
that
get the
era. I mean, there's
He's
a
like,
reason.
I have the book here.
Yeah. Great stuff on Genesis there too. Anyways,
Okay, I'm sorry, guys.
no, John's.
I'm sorry,
John's
not
checking
sorry.
out.
I'm sorry, not sorry. How about that? You ever heard
I
Demi
mean,
Lovato?
what did I do now?
Listen to the song, John.
What did I do?
Sorry, not sorry.
You know what else isn't sorry? Super Mario Odyssey because it sold 10 million units.
How many exact, Chris?
10 million worldwide.
You want to rethink that?
I'm sorry, 10.41 million worldwide.
Yes.
And making it the top selling game on Switch with Mario Kart 8 coming in second with 9.22 million. And finally, Breath of the Wild at a measly 8.48 million copies. That's pretty solid for 3 big ones for their first year.
Yeah, if you add those up, that's like 30 million games sold.
That is true. Actually less, but you're right. Pretty
You
close.
want to do the math? You want to do the math?
Splatoon sold 6.5 million. Ooh. In fact, Breath of the Wild, if you add Wii U sales, that you add 1 million to 2 million more units sold.
Oh, yeah? Well, how much did it sell Skyrim? You don't know because they haven't told you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They sold at least
that would
one.
be Bethesda.
They sold at least one.
Did you get that one?
Yes,
That's where he would buy it.
that's where I got it. Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
hands down.
Nintendo's online
Skyrim
service.
on the go.
Right?
Shoot.
Nintendo has revealed some more upcoming news on the online service launching in September. It will be introducing cloud saves for easy access, with more details coming prior to the launch of the service. Your subscription will get you access to online play, Nintendo Switch online smartphone app, 20 classic NES games at launch. The games will take advantage of the online service through competitive modes. Nintendo has also announced it has no plans to bring the Virtual Console to the Switch. Rest in peace, Virtual Console. That sucks.
Yeah, one big thing they're definitely making sure you know is when it launches, there's no more free to play online.
Yeah.
They're-
I think it's like what? It's like
they're-
$3.99.
yeah, for a
$3.99 a month and $19 for a year.
Yeah,
or $20.
it's. I was going to say that's exactly what I was going to say, Chris.
Yeah.
That the model that you're going to have to pay for it is not going to be a lot, but that concerns me not because of any other reason that we're used to paying a certain amount for what we know we're getting.
Sure.
I don't know, like that's just very cheap, and that's weird that Nintendo's cheaper than the other places, and they don't want to
Especially
charge you more
for cloud.
Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say, John? Normally, Nintendo nickels and dimes you for everything, right? Mm-hmm. And they don't.
They do.
You don't really get a discount.
Well, it's probably because they know they can't afford to charge that.
You're
There's
right.
They compared to their competitors, as you said, like I have no question in Sony's ability to give me an online gaming experience, and I certainly don't have that problem with Microsoft or PC. So you're telling me this company that really didn't have any online presence until midway through last generation. And it's just now trying. I mean, like, the early generation games.
Mario
are
Kart
really
8's off the chain online, though, dude.
But
You were reigning number one.
I'm sorry. I meant to say I was going back to the Wii generation. Is what I meant.
Why would you do that? Wii bowling
and that
only.
was like late,
But,
but
I
anyway,
get your point, but
yeah,
we did have online connectivity.
sure.
It was terrible.
I didn't say it wasn't. I'm just
I'm talking about like in comparison to Microsoft that started in like 2002.
Don't be old Darren Defender over there, dude.
But anyways, you go from that now, and like
Chris.
you're wanting me to trust that like they're gonna have really great cloud save and it's gonna work on the level of Microsoft. I don't have that question with Microsoft.
I do think the cloud save will be not an issue for Nintendo Online.
I hope not.
I think they'll have that on lockdown. I just worry about
I thought the cloud save was designed to move your system over to something new.
To a cloud, yeah. And then you can download
To the
something
cloud.
else. Like the idea
see,
is,
John, a cloud is.
I mean, yes,
Right
yeah,
now, you can't move your data over to a new Switch.
correct. Which
That's
is a
what I'm
huge
talking
issue.
about. I know what the freaking cloud is. I'm not
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone.
Ooh, he's getting all personal. He's a freaking and
Rambo
Stallone.
5's gonna suck.
Anyways, what I'm trying to say is like
John loved me.
The fear is like, okay, that cloud, all that data has to go somewhere, right?
What are you doing?
AKA the cloud. So
What's he doing?
the question is, how well can they run that service so that when something happens,
$3.99
and
a
you
month
need-
worth.
Sure,
That's how well
yeah.
they can run it.
That's the question.
Speaking of Pokemon,
Anyways, Pokemon Go Fest round 2.
yeah, here we go.
Dear God, Niantic has announced that despite last year's debacle, it will hold a Pokemon Go Fest this year. It will be called Pokemon Go Fest: A Walk in the Park. Maybe. I hope this goes well for them. And will be taking place on July 14th and 15th in Chicago's Lincoln Park, which will span a 1.8-mile walk around the course. Or
If any of you listeners are going to be attending this, I'd love to see pictures on our Twitter feed. That'd be awesome. Or our Facebook.
I'm just going to feel bad for him if it fails because you know how many a walk in the park memes and
I don't know. I think
Twitter
I
posts
think
are
they're
coming.
determined
oh, I hope so.
to make this right.
I hope so.
I don't think that you say, hey, let's have a round 2 if you don't. Your main focus is to make it above and
If there's
beyond
not,
better
if there's
than
not
last
like
year.
a team of 100 people at Lincoln Park right now, just
Already.
just putting things down like every freaking Wi-Fi hotspot they could.
See, John, Wi-Fi is
It's part of the cloud.
Go on.
wireless fidelity.
Finally this week.
I'm all out of fluids.
Yeah,
I'm all out of love.
they're in the cloud. Microsoft.
Hold up. You said finally this week, and John says he's out of fluid.
Yeah, I know.
I'm done. I'll talk to you guys later. See you later. I don't get
Did you just
tapped out?
Did you just Kevin Spacey this?
Tapping out.
We can do this without you for the last bit.
I don't know that you can.
He's got the Twitter stuff. But anyways, Microsoft first party. Microsoft's job listings are suggesting the company is focusing on hiring for the purpose of AAA first party titles. This listing is for a program manager, and the candidate will have a focus on growing internal studio talent and working to help build a new franchise. It also calls for experience, quote, shipping high quality titles at AAA standards. That's good. Not too surprising, actually.
I made a mistake.
Oh.
The quote actually was meant to be quadruple A.
Oh.
That was an intentional. Maybe it fact checked me or something. Maybe it edited my words.
I have no idea. It did not
But the
have.
quote actually said quadruple A.
Ooh. That would be cool.
That means that they're serious.
They're very serious because they put an extra A. Take that. We ready to wrap this up this week?
Never.
Yes.
Emails! What was that one? Anyway,
Future.
if you want to write your thoughts in,
Simon gave us 2 of them.
Yeah, no. Well, remember we didn't read them last week.
We didn't?
Yeah, remember we didn't do anything but
We didn't?
the spoiler episode. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
You can write them into weeklygameschat@gmail.com. That's weeklygameschat@gmail.com. Just like Simon did twice. He says, first, Dear Weekly Game Chat, just wondering if you guys are going to do an episode on Pillars of Eternity. 2, Deadfire. Also, a Balrog is a giant fire demon thing with a whip that Gandalf murders in
your
Lord of the
face.
Rings.
He
Shut
murders the.
Your face.
He does
There's no way we did that before. I did not see this email.
Also, bleh, Diet Dr. Pepper, and just diet drinks in general. There's definitely a large contingent of people out there that cannot stand a diet drink.
I'm one
Cola.
of them.
Yeah.
And you're not.
I can, yeah. God help me if I started drinking regular Coke. I'd have diabetes.
I don't think so. You drank a lot of regular Cokes before.
No, I didn't. I really haven't.
No,
Like, oh.
Chris, before.
Oh, way back?
Yeah.
Like when I was 8? That was when I made the switch. Seriously. And he also says, you guys make my walk home from high school much more interesting. I was like, is that actually good? Or
No,
he's
wait,
just
that-
like,
that-
it's much, he's just like going, huh,
Yeah.
this is weird.
Well, but it's cool. We Chris, I don't know if you know this, but we do want to.
I don't want to do anything.
Well, I got to say, Gandalf did not murder the Balrog. Specifically, he smote him on the mountainside.
Smite him? Smoke him? Yeah. Okay, so
All right,
yeah,
this
that's-
makes me laugh. This makes me laugh because I think.
and then also he came back and he says he says
no,
watching.
call him out. He
Yeah.
watched our spoiler cast.
I don't know how he
Where did he
watched
get
it.
that
Yeah,
information? That's
apparently we're
amazing.
being filmed. Sean, what have you been doing?
Don't need to say that here.
I was cringing at your pronunciation of Norse locations, but otherwise I enjoyed it.
What are you talking about? We went to Jogerheim.
Yeah. Jogerheim?
We went to yogurt,
Muselheim.
yogurt Slinger.
Of the
Niflheim.
purple-headed variety.
Purple-headed
Don't say it
variety.
all together. That means something.
Well, Simon, we appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for listening, Simon. You're the
As
best.
far as an episode on Pillars of Eternity 2,
That's supposed to be pretty good.
yeah, it's supposed to be pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I would say, could it eventually happen? You never know, especially if we get to these summer months and
Or if they come
we
out
ain't
of
got
VR.
nothing, and I don't think it's happening. But maybe I won't promise anything. I would just tell you right now in the near future, if you're looking at for like the next 2 weeks, because the game came out today. If you're like thinking next week, are we going to talk about that game? I would not get your hopes up. And then next week, watch, that's going to be the freaking talk. But I don't know.
I just drank all my Dr. Pepper at once.
What is our next week?
I have no
It's
idea.
going to be Moss.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah,
2
there
months
you go.
later.
At some point, we got to talk about E3 before.
We got a little bit of time.
Dude,
Also, the new Conan game's coming out, guys.
about like, is
That's-
it where
that
Jay
came out
Leno
today,
tried?
right?
Yeah, it looks pretty. It looks pretty.
Did the-
it looks
Is
like
that
God of
like,
War-ish.
is it like where Jay Leno tries to steal your show and then you have to go to TBS?
No, that's Conan, and the other game is Conan.
I don't understand right now. Is La Bamba in it? Andy Richter? Year 3000?
Max. What's his name?
Weinberg?
Yeah,
He's not in the new one.
I know. That's why I don't watch it.
Conan came out today, I thought, but there's no.
He's on every night, guys. 5 nights a week.
On TBS, John.
Yes.
Actually, I
quite
think
funny.
I think he's going down to 4 nights a week
Yeah, he has talked about how he's
Why?
probably gonna. I think he wants to
because
start.
he's irrelevant.
He wants to start doing more of the travel thing, like where he likes to go to different places. And
I will tell you this. I think before he made the switch to TBS, he kind of met his height.
yeah, I
in
don't
my
know.
opinion.
He'll never be as big as what he was at late night. I think,
I
but
agree.
I still love watching his show. He's always hilarious.
He's all right.
Um,
I mean, he's all right.
Next up, Scott writes in.
What
he
up?
says, "Good day, lads.
Good day.
Been a while since I wrote you. You better do that thing for the statement.
Wait, we gotta do it.
Wait,
we gotta do it right. Since he asked us to do the thing for the statement.
You know, how long has it been, guys, since he's written in? It's been a while. Right? If you ever demand we do the thing again, we are not going to do it. We are not monkeys. Well, you are.
Speak for yourself.
Actually, we are monkeys. Wait.
Can I share
Except
something
John.
random? Dragon's Crown Pro is coming out next week, and there's a review for it from Slant. Gave it a 5,
Out of?
which is not out of 10, which is not a problem. That's
like right up your alley.
But I love the quote. This game would still be hard to fall in love with if it didn't absolutely assault the laws of human physics.
That's pretty good.
That's not that funny. I said that was amazing, John. Thanks for that.
Not as good as Gandalf taking off his cloak.
Yeah,
But
what a Balrog is. Yeah.
and I like it like he.
We really got to update equipment.
I know we gotta get some long wires and
Better
just
splitter.
probably better mics because this guy.
New third host.
With you, he doesn't see
Fist
this.
bump.
What?
Love you, John.
But he
Mean it.
says, "But I promise I've listened every week,
Thank you.
even though it's been a while.
Who cares?
I wouldn't. Dang,
He's
son.
this line
Jeez.
right here. This line makes me happy.
I wouldn't abandon you like that. I'm a serial podcast monogamist."
Yeah, that means we get all his Richard, dude.
So I was cleaning up after dinner this evening, and my wife.
Your wife.
Thank you. Way to go, John. Was remarking on something, probably my inability to properly sweep a tile floor. And to be fair, she's not wrong. And when she asked, quote, "Do you understand what I'm saying?" My 3-year-old son, wearing nothing but a Pokemon underwear, proudly stands up and yells, 9! 9! At the top
so
of,
happy.
I like how he says, at the top of his tiny lungs. Great description here.
Yeah, his 3-year-old lungs, you know? They're tiny.
Teeny tiny.
Yeah.
I hope his name was Tim. Needless to say, I about fell out of my skin. I guess you could say that I'm raising the boy right. That boy ain't right. The irony being that I haven't even played Wolfenstein over 3 months, and my son has the attention span of an earthworm.
Jim?
In other news, God of War is everything you said it was, and even more. That one moment is everything I play video games for, and I yelled at the screen in sheer bliss.
Yeah.
I think we all did, even if you had
Kind
it
of
spoiled.
knew.
Yeah,
You didn't know, but
I didn't know.
That moment was
and then,
amazing.
like, the thing happened. I was like, oh, this is where we're going. Also, kudos to John for highly recommending AC Origins. Yeah, I also recommend that game. I haven't enjoyed an AC game since Black Flag, and for whatever reason, Bayek has become one of my favorite gaming heroes of all time. Awesome. Beautiful and rich game all around. I'm pulling a Mickey D on it, and he's loving it.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Lastly, I know you boys are nascent football soccer.
I'm a legit soccer fan, not these guys.
So a brief shout out to the announcement of
Arsene Wenger. Go ahead.
Arsene Wenger.
Arsene Wenger.
Did I say it right?
I just said it for you. Yes.
But I said it officially.
You said it okay.
That's the official weekly
Arsene
games.
Wenger.
Arsene Wenger. Retirement at the end of the season. The Premier League will never see his like again.
Yeah,
Come on, fellas.
I don't know if the Premier League's going to see any coach stay for 22, 23 years like he did at Arsenal. And yeah, I
Let
watched
Nick Saban go there.
I watched his final home game. It was pretty dope.
Next up, Dylan writes in, says, "Hey guys, it's your Oklahoma Dylan here.
What up, dog?
Long time, second time. Hey, I
Yeah.
like that. After a weekend of adventure with Kratos and the boy, I have to say this game is quickly trying to climb its way into my top 5 games of all time. Although a game does just feel better when it's free, right? Ooh, that's right. We did get it for free. That's our winner. I'd like to thank you all for helping my wife.
Your wife.
That's
terrible, John.
Yeah, no. On mic,
Look,
John.
if you're going to be the tambourine in the band, Chris Rock said it best. You play the tambourine like a tambourinist, okay? You don't half-a anything. So when he says your wife, John, you come to the show and you say your wife like you're supposed to.
For the record, Sean's like this completely off mic when we're
doesn't-
on air.
well, that's because-
he's just like, he's always the hardcore guy of the group.
Wait, are we still recording? Oops. Hey, John, how you
This is a
doing?
live podcast. Let's see, where was? Oh, I'd like to thank you all for helping my wife see.
Your wife. God, oh, John, I swear. I didn't know.
He keeps shorting out the
Why
headphones.
don't he
just-
wake up? What's wrong with John?
I have no idea.
Did you just say, why did I wake up?
No, why don't you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Too much sugar? You should be bouncing off the walls. You think I ate a bag of lemon cookies? I didn't.
He also says, "No longer are my wailings of 9 met with glare of disgust and confusion, but rather a gentle head bob." Hey, every time you head bob, you gotta send me a check.
Yeah, it's copyrighted.
Yeah, it's
so
totally
don't copy
trademarked.
me.
I'm like the brow.
See, John, the
Signifying-
brow is.
Yeah. Signifying that she's indeed now understands the primitive need for accompaniment of blood curdling screams with the removal of Nazi trachea. But I digress. With the addition of my Xbox One X to my
Nazi
right.
just ripping throats.
With the addition of my Xbox One X to my arsenal, I went ahead and added a new 4K TV to go along with
Nice.
it. Really? Yeah, all right, money.
Go big or go home. Dog.
He's like, I didn't have to spend $60 on this game, so 4K TV.
He was like $60 short from the budget.
But he's like, it's all good now.
Yeah.
My question for you would be, what is one game and one film that you, in your opinion, really takes advantage of good 4K HDR setup? Have a great week, guys. And as always, game the F on.
Game the F on,
Was
Mr.
he our winner?
Sir. Yes.
Yeah,
That's what I
Dylan.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're liking it, dude. That's awesome.
Game in HDR, especially if you got an Xbox One X, if you like racing, either Forza Horizon 3 is really good, or if you want more of the open world experience, if you haven't played Assassin's Creed on there.
Origins, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. That game is freaking amazing in HDR. Pretty much all the stuff they put out there that has been updated with HDR now at least looks awesome.
What about the Shadow of Mordor or the Battle? What's the one with that?
Shadow of
War?
or Shadow of War, yeah. That's all right.
It was all right. It
was
didn't,
all right.
well, I didn't play it. I'm just trying to think of Xbox games you played.
I think did you play it on
Yeah,
Xbox?
actually, no, I played that on PlayStation because I played the first one. Thank you, John.
Oh, correction time, fellas.
But Wolfenstein is actually very good. It looks really pretty in 4K.
For sure.
They updated Doom in 4K, but I have it on PlayStation because I'm a jack.
I thought about
Thanks, John.
I thought about Tomb Raider. I wonder if it's been updated since the new one's coming out, but I don't know
Yes.
if Rise is.
They have it. It now supports 4K again. Got it on PlayStation 4 Pro.
I should probably open that.
Which is
It's getting close.
which is in 4K, I guess,
Yeah.
upscaled. I don't know.
Everyone says the best thing to watch in 4K as far as a movie is what you call it?
Last Jedi
Yeah, Last Jedi.
right now for sure.
So go do that if you like the Star Warses, and I think you'll be a happy man. And then our last email is from Pat. He's from Canada.
Okay.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, thanks for.
Hey, guy.
Can he finish, please?
Hey, Kevin.
Can he finish?
Kevin. I'm not your bad guy. You're a dick, Scott.
Because that's a name. We can say that.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, John, if you want to say something, you just say dick.
Yeah, that's all you gotta say.
Say it, John.
Just say next time. Just
For
say
me.
Jack Dick.
Will you just
and you'll be
say?
fine.
Will you just say dick for me right now, John?
Kind of fast. Anyways, he says, I have to read this like a Canadian. Hey, guys. I've been listening to your show for about a year now.
Hey, Terrence and Phillip
I
called.
can't help it. And I look forward to it every week. I love the video game music of 2017
Yeah,
episode.
it was a good one.
That was because those two had nothing to do with it. Wait, and it would be cool if you guys did a similar episode of your all-time favorite tracks.
Hey, that'd be a
Ooh.
good summer trend to go.
Like we need a week off,
Like,
episode, so we're just gonna read
Yeah.
two at once.
Oh, I am missing a week here shortly. I'm going to be in Disney World. Sorry, guys.
That's coming up soon.
Yeah, like very soon.
How long?
5 days. Actually,
Ooh.
So I guess we're not doing Moss next week.
no, it's not like next week.
You just said 5 days.
Well, I'm leaving on the 17th of May.
Okay, so
Okay,
that's-
so
Yeah,
that's
y'all calm down.
Next Thursday.
everybody,
Next
everybody,
Thursday.
exhale.
Okay. For one, you don't understand how many days are between now and then.
Why? What did I say?
You said 5 days. A
No,
week is 7.
No, I thought you meant how long I was going to be
Oh,
gone.
okay.
I'll be
Okay.
at Disney World for 5 days.
Gotcha.
Can
Can I come?
Week of the
He's not laughing. His stone face.
We went before.
week of July 4th.
Yeah, that might be a good one for us to take off
At
too.
some point, I need to go see my buddy Mikey. I think I said I was going to go down there this month. So
July-
I usually
July
come
4th.
back where it doesn't affect you guys because
I think July 4th. I think we're getting so popular we deserve time off.
you're not getting July 4th off.
The
Sean.
suits upstairs. You know, the bosses talking like big radio shows. You know.
I mean, you guys are welcome to take off whatever weeks you need.
We know.
I'll be here.
Hey, Cal Ripken. One day you cannot do a show.
We're gonna do this thing like 10 years from now. We're gonna do it just like where
Chris
we'll
is
have
doing-
the warehouse and
you're
the
doing
number comes down
Chris
halfway
is doing a
through.
lap around the field, just clapping at all the listeners with
Buy
a
me a
dumb,
Camaro,
with a dumb Orioles hat.
right?
Hey, that was my.
I know it was. And I can
He
make
said,
fun of.
but anyways, getting back to Patrick, I don't care about you guys.
Yeah, you do. Don't say that.
For me, I only care about my body in Canada. My top for music would be Donkey Kong Country 2, Sticker Brush Symphony. Hits me right in the feels.
Square in the fields, buddy.
Ooh,
Don't
yeah.
skip out words.
Is he talking about Diddy Kong's Quest or Tropical Freeze?
That's fine.
What's that?
And he says,
don't understand.
also, has anyone tried Owlboy yet? The pixel art looks amazing. I'd love to hear some opinions on the gameplay. I'll tell you this. I have played a little bit of that game.
When?
I
You're
have
gonna
it
snap
on.
me out by laughing. When did you play Owlboy?
I got it for free from Humble Bundle in January. So I've played it like a minute, and I held off on playing it more because I saw it was coming to Switch. And I was like, maybe my friends who have Switches will get this game, and we can do it as a topic one week. So maybe, Pat, maybe 1 week we will do an episode on it. Maybe.
The week Sean's going to be at the Disney World. I'll call in.
We're doing it next week.
If you can set up calls in, I'll call in. That'd be awesome. It would be.
That's okay.
It would be awesome.
It might be, but with you, it's not.
No,
worth
with
it.
the production department, yeah, they suck.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't want to change. They don't want to adapt. What are you doing? Don't unplug my mic. That'd be hilarious.
Just like, oh, look at that. But thanks again. He says cheers from Canada.
Yeah.
Pat. Thank you, Pat.
If you happen to be a Raptors fan, I'm kind of sorry right now.
You mean the baby dinosaurs? They kind of got hit by a meteor.
Oh,
And its name was LeBron.
but yeah. I mean, I'll try Owlboy. I don't know anything about it, so I don't care. If we did an all-time music track thing for me, it would be a lot of PC games.
I definitely know that there will be some Final Fantasy 7 music on there.
Final Fantasy 14 online, a little Twilight over Thanaland. That's good
Anyway.
stuff.
John doesn't listen.
See, John, music is.
Sean.
Oh, is it time for me?
Yeah, it's time for you.
I want to give a thanks to at Raymond
Why are you giving him a thanks, Sean?
A. Price because he mentioned us on Twitter.
What's our address on Twitter there?
At Weekly Games Chat.
Thanks.
Anything else?
You want to tell him our address on Facebook too?
It is Weekly Games Chat at Facebook.com.
There you go.
Yeah. Basically, there's a game coming out that's going to be cross-play, right? From PC and Switch. It's called Crazy Justice. Is that right?
I thought that was a barbecue.
I want some barbecue all of a sudden. Anyway, there's a video showing how easy it is. I believe it's from the studio who made the game to get a cross-play kill from the Switch on a PC player. So that's pretty dope. Thank you so much, Raymond A. Price, for mentioning us. John, you okay? Mm-hmm. I know this is one of your most favorite segments and everything. So
I'm listening.
basically, also there's I sent a link out. I want to see if more of you guys like it. There's apparently a limited edition Spider-Man PS4 bundle. It looks pretty awesome. If you haven't seen it, I say you definitely go check it out. We retweeted it. Actually, Acid Sugar 1414 said that he would be excited about it only if they redid the PS4 logo with the original Spider-Man font like the PlayStation 3.
And who is Acid Sugar? It's my brother-in-law.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you? Yeah? I'm just saying, John. I want to give a crazy shout out to at Chester Baker for the follow. Thank you so much. Following you back. At
He's written into us.
Skalnitsky.
He writes us a good bit on Facebook.
That person?
Chester does.
Yeah. At
See, Chester, you didn't think I knew, but I always know when you write. I know when you send everything. John doesn't know, though, because he doesn't show it to him.
I hope I said that right. At Skalnitsky. Thank you so much. Following you back. At D7iMan. Thank you for the follow. Following you back. At Two Dudes Picking.
Great name.
Thank you so much. Following you back.
Dudes picking.
Let's see. And I think that's about all I wanted to mention this week. So I think we're good. Chris, did you see anything else I should have brought up when you were trolling my Twitter feed?
No, I just get on there and I post things whenever I have the moment.
I know.
I should probably put that one up.
I already
Hand
did.
up.
Already
Did you?
I already did.
You put that up there?
Yep.
How'd you put that up there?
What do you mean?
You don't even know.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
This has been episode 152 of Weekly Games Chat. If you like the show, subscribe to us on iTunes or whatever podcast service you use, and you will get a new episode every Wednesday, unless we do a spoiler cast and someone has a DJ gig the night before.
Well, hey, and if it happens, Sean's spoiler siren will go on.
It will. It went pretty loud after we told everyone that Darth Maul got cut in half.
Well, because at Perchik Tukachek wanted to make sure that if we did a power, I just got a text
Nintendo Power?
We just got a text about the powers out in our neighborhood. But he wanted to make sure that if we do spoiler cast, Sean's siren goes off, and it most certainly does.
Always will. It always will. As we've said before, if you want to write in your thoughts to us very directly in the long form, you can do so at weeklygameschat@gmail.com. That's weeklygameschat@gmail.com. Follow us on the social medias, both on Twitter and Facebook, both at Weekly Games Chat. Hit us up. Tell Sean to post some things, and he'll post them.
And technically, if you wanted to see Penny, she's now on Twitter.
Yeah, I know.
So that's pretty cool.
I was interested. We were like, what are people going to think if we post this combination of a picture up there?
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I have a tip of the week.
Ooh, tip of the week. Is this a new recurring segment?
Yes. I've checked out Cobra Kai on YouTube Red.
Oh yeah, that is out there.
What I did is I signed up for the 30-day trial. I can't think of anything else I'd want to watch on YouTube Red. I want to look into it, but maybe I'll keep it, maybe I won't. But so far, it's really excellent.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
It's 30-minute shows, 10 episodes. So I give that tip back to you, the people.
It's really funny. I had a friend of the show, Mike D.
Shout out to Playerway Podcast. They did that last week.
AKA Ryan Leaf of the show.
Yeah.
He IMs me today and he goes, hey, I don't know if you know this, but Cobra Kai is on YouTube Red and it's pretty awesome if you like Karate Kid back in the day. Are you serious?
I was obsessed with Karate Kid almost as much as I was with Rocky.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I never...
now I know it's probably not that good because I know how John is with Rocky.
No, it's pretty good. We should check it out.
Karate Kid 1...
I've got some credentials.
Karate Kid 1 and 2 are excellent. Karate Kid 3 suffers from some bad acting, but it's pretty cool.
Is that the one with Hilary Swank?
Yes.
No, that's Karate Kid. The next Karate Kid.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It's not that good.
It's okay.
Hilary Swank's all right. I understand why she took it. She was trying to get in the business.
And then the one with Jaden Smith.
I like that one, actually.
I think it's better than 3.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought it was a really solid remake, and I thought Jackie Chan and Jaden had
They
some
worked.
good
Yeah, they
chemistry.
worked okay. It's just I'm so used to.
It didn't make
Jackie
sense.
Chan's in Lego Ninja movie.
Oh, that's good.
And with that,
It didn't make sense because they were doing kung fu
Yeah.
and not karate, so I just never understood why they never called it the kung fu.
you know, when some people think kung fu and karate
Money.
is the same, it's not. Much like 3D and VR aren't the same. So
that's a perfect analogy.
yeah, just saying.
Until next time. This is supposed to be the wrap up.
It is, but I never do. So,
But anyways, until next time,
Bareback McGee.
I will simply say
Yeah.
congrats to the Cavs and game on, Sean.
Game on, Chris.
Game on, John.
Game on, Chris.
John is now Benjamin Button old. John, did you say it back? Game on, John.
Your mom's box.
Peace out, everybody.
Thug life.
Wow.